Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to talk about something that has been a long time coming. I told you guys that I wanted to share my keto experience more in depth because I did a part 1 and a part 2 of my weight loss journey, and I mentioned there like my time on keto, but I also wanted to like make one dedicated video on my experience with keto, like why I started, how it was, and why I stopped. So this is that video, finally. I knew I had to make this video now because it's been a year since I went off keto. I had to do it now before I forgot everything and how it was like, but I still remember. So I never say this in the beginning of my videos, but please like it and subscribe. I will probably say this in the end of the video also, but make sure you do that. So first and foremost, what is keto? If you don't know what keto is, it's a low carb, high fat and moderate protein diet. Normally the body runs on carbs for energy. If you're keto, you don't eat carbs, so your body or your liver starts to produce something called ketones, and that means that your body uses ketones for energy. So instead of carbs, your body uses fat for fuel. When you're producing ketones, you're in a state called ketosis. So that's what like ketogenic diet is. To be in ketosis, you will need to eat around like 20 grams of carbs a day or less. Some people can eat more as well and still be in ketosis. It kind of depends on your body and how long you've done it. So that's like the basis of keto. So when did I start? I started keto in February 2019. The sun is being unpredictable, so if the lighting goes on and off, it's because of the sun. I was just at work, like watching YouTube, as you do. Some YouTubers were like talking about doing keto and stuff, so I just wanted to read more about it. And after reading about it, I found it really like fascinating. I've always loved science and nutrition, and keto is very much like about the science. So I got really fascinated, so I just started to read more about it. And that's also the thing I wanted to say. When you come across something like this, just read a lot about it first. Don't just listen to people on YouTube or on social media, or don't just read articles from one place. Like when I first heard about it, I read about it like from several different sources. So, and I found it really intriguing. So the reason why I wanted to test it out was because, of course, I wanted to lose some weight. That was one reason, but also I had struggled with stomach issues like for years and years. Like after every meal I got stomach aches and I was bloated almost all the time, and it was really like bothering me. And I read that keto could help bloating and stomach and digestion, so that was also a reason I wanted to test it out. Those were that was kind of my starting point, like what I wanted to achieve with keto. So we started straight away and we read a lot, so we knew about Keto Flu. So the Keto Flu is just basically your body is getting rid of the carbs and it's not using ketones yet, so it doesn't have an energy source. Like the transition into being in ketosis and using ketones as fuel, you will get like the keto flu and you will feel like lethargic and fatigued. And that first I think I stopped eating carbs on a Friday, and that weekend I was just like flat out on the couch and I could barely like get up and go to the bathroom. It was weird. It didn't really bother me because I thought it was so fascinating, like the body reacted that way just by not eating carbs. So I really found it fascinating, and I also knew that I had to drink a lot of water because your body, since you're not having carbs anymore, you don't have water retention, so your body will flush out the water. So you need to drink a lot of water and you need to get your electrolytes in. So that's sodium, potassium and magnesium. Yeah, so we knew that we had to get electrolytes and we had to get enough water, but I don't think we were good enough with like being consistent with it. So it's important to be consistent with that, at least to begin with, because your body really needs it when it gets rid of all that water. And we also wanted to get to know the community better, so we started an Instagram profile where we shared our food and we like got in contact with people. After the keto flu passed and my body started to use ketones and I got my energy back, I really got that. And I know that this is a common like benefit from keto, but I don't think everyone has that experience, but I did, and I think Matt did too. We got this like sick mental clarity, and it seems weird, it seems like weird to say, but it's, you just feel clear, your head feels clear. So that was one thing that I really noticed. I felt very in control of my own mind, so that was also very fascinating. Another thing we noticed to begin with was that we really enjoyed just like cooking keto foods, and it's just basically normal meals. It's just you just cut out the carb source. So we made a bunch of like delicious meals, and I don't know, keto made us like explore different food combos and different dishes, and we were dabbling into baking without carbs and we really enjoyed it. And at one point we also got ourselves an ice cream machine and we made keto ice cream, and we both love to cook. The food making was just such a fun hobby for us, so quite early on we started a food blog as well, because we wanted to share our meals with others and recipes. So starting keto was really just like a fun time for us. It was so fascinating, it was like exciting trying new stuff, and it was exciting starting the food blog and getting to know a new community on social media. And it was just, we had a very good first experience. And also not long after we started keto, we traveled to Australia, to Brisbane, and also just going there and looking for low carb options over there was kind of an adventure on its own. So it was really fun to travel and being keto and like discovering all the products and all the things they had. Yeah, so it really was kind of an adventure for us. At the beginning, I didn't really track macros. I just tracked my carbs, so I knew that I was below 20 grams a day. Everyone has a different experience, you know, so you can't say that start keto and you lose weight, or start this and you lose weight. You can't say that, because everyone reacts differently to things. A lot of people who start keto experience less hunger. I don't think that was really the case for me. What I struggled with was after each meal, and I mean like straight after, I wouldn't feel full. But that's only because the feeling of fullness when I ate carbs was kind of like, I really like felt full. And when I didn't have that feeling after a meal, I thought I was still hungry, or I just wanted to eat more. So what is good with keto though is that you can go further between each meal. You're even though you're not feeling full straight after, the feeling of satiety will last longer, because your blood sugar won't rise and fall as it does when you're on carbs. But even though I had a stable blood sugar, I didn't eat less. So, and it's probably also because we were so like into cooking and making dishes and stuff that I ate more than I should have, and I gained weight. So I think it was during our travel to Australia that I realized that I had gained weight. So after, I don't know if it was after we came home or after the summer, I started dieting or lowering my calories to lose weight. As I said in my weight loss journey video, I lowered my calories way too much. So I did lose weight. I just didn't actually do it in a healthy way. After New Year's, so early 2020, I realized that I needed to fix my metabolism. Again, I have talked about this in the weight loss journey. If you want to check that out, just I'll leave it in the cards. So that's when I went on kind of a bulk. I just increased my calories so that my metabolism would go up. So that's what I did in the beginning of 2020. So after increasing my calories and eating at a surplus for about 4 months or something, I decided that I wanted to lose the weight again and try to like decrease my calories slowly. So, and that's when I went off keto. And the main reasons for that was to perform better in the gym and to overall feel more energized. And I will go a little bit more into that when I get to the pros and cons. So that was kind of the short version of my year being keto, and now I will get into like the pros and cons for me. I think I'll start with the pros. So the first thing is the blood sugar, the stable blood sugar. I did feel that my blood sugar wasn't like being as it was when I was on carbs, like going up and down. So you don't get that slump when your blood sugar is low and you feel like you need some carbs again. You don't get that. So it's more, your hunger is more like stable throughout the day. Granted, you will have different experiences with that, because I probably feel more hungry than most people. I've just always been that way. And it will depend on how much you're eating. So when I was eating in a deficit, I was hungry all the time. That's kind of normal. If you eat too little, your body, you will be hungry. So it's not like you can just be keto and not be hungry. As I said, everyone will have different experiences in that. So when I was eating in a deficit, I was hungry all the time, but I did feel that my blood sugar was stable. I did feel that it didn't go like this. So I think that was a very big benefit for me. Another one is my stomach issues. After going keto, they completely disappeared. It was like night and day. Like 1 week I struggled with stomach aches after every meal, and I had tested everything out. I had tested like going like gluten-free, I had tested going dairy-free, I had tested no bananas because those gave me stomach issues sometimes, and yeah, a bunch of other stuff as well, like eggs and stuff. So I had tested several things, but I really struggled with stomach aches and bloating. After going keto, that just totally disappeared. So that was kind of the main benefit for me, and because it was one of the reasons I started also. Yeah, so I was really happy about that. Never experiencing a stomach ache after that. That day I cut out carbs, so that was a huge benefit for me, really. One thing I did struggle with though was a kind of rumbling. My stomach rumbled a lot, so I don't know why that was, but just if you're starting keto and your stomach is like rumbling a lot, just know you're not alone. Matt had that too, so I hope it's okay that I'm saying that. The mental clarity, that was a big benefit. It's weird because I don't really remember what it was like now, and I'm really like curious that if I were to start keto again now, would I feel that mental clarity? I don't know. Would be fun to test out in the future though. But I can really remember that hit me really hard, like just the feeling of being total in control of your mind. The whole mental clarity thing really hit me, so that was a big benefit for me. Another thing is all the foods we were having. Some people think that when you eliminate carbs, you are like restricting yourself of lots of delicious foods, and some people might experience that, but we didn't. We really loved all the foods we made, and all of like the keto dishes and the keto baked goods and desserts and ice creams and stuff. We really loved all of it, and I think a lot of people didn't understand that, and they think that being keto is being miserable, but we didn't miss anything. I didn't miss carbs when I was keto. You adapt. So when you're keto and having carbs is not an option, you just find other ways of like satisfying the sweet tooth or whatever craving you have. So we didn't really experience that we were missing anything. So all the foods we had, everything we ate, everything we made, that was a big benefit. We really loved everything. Some of the meals we made, we can make it today also. Really, we can make keto meals today, and we can just add carbs if we want to, but the whole discovering food in a whole new way, I feel like we did that, and that was a big benefit also. Last thing I wanted to touch on is the community, specifically Instagram. I feel like people are so nice there, especially like in the keto community. We love just talking to people and just interacting with people on Instagram, so I think the keto community is awesome there. Not on on Facebook. A lot of communities are worse on Facebook. I don't know. I feel like on Facebook all the trolls come out, and people who have very strong opinions and don't want to listen to anyone else. But the community on Instagram we really loved, and we really loved getting to know new people. So that's the pros, and then I will move over to the cons. The first one is probably the one I struggled with the most, and it was other people. Just other people not understanding why you do it and not wanting to understand and looking down on you or judging you. And I feel like keto and low carb like diets in general, they have a really bad rep here in Norway. So if you tell someone you're low carb, they will most likely look at you funny and think that you're weird. And it was really hard to not feel understood by like friends and family, especially family. Like they didn't understand why you did it, and sometimes it even felt like they believed that I did it just to be difficult. They didn't really understand the benefits it gave me and why I did it. So, and I tried to explain it several times, but it's maybe not easy to understand for everyone. So that, I think that was one of the main issues I had, that I didn't feel heard and I didn't feel understood. So I think I would recommend, if you're doing something like this that people don't understand, just make sure that you have someone there that backs you up. Doing it with Matt really helped. Of course some people got it or didn't care, but I did feel some judgment, and that was a bit hard. I think for me that was a bit hard. So another con was like daily energy. I feel like, because I did keto both in a deficit and in maintenance and in a surplus, so, and I feel like overall my energy was much lower than before keto. Like my legs could feel so heavy at times, and I heard that that was because of the electrolytes. I did make sure to get enough electrolytes. I had plenty of water, plenty of like the sodium, potassium and magnesium, and still I struggled with feeling very low energy, and I felt like my legs was like they weighed a ton. So that was something I struggled with throughout everything. You might not struggle with that. I don't know, everyone reacts differently, but I experienced that like throughout the whole year. It wasn't so bad that I felt like I wanted to go off keto. It was just something I noted, and it bothered me a bit that my energy didn't feel like it used to. Another thing is, I've already touched on this, that I didn't feel full after meals. And as I said, I would feel full if I just waited, but the feeling of satiety right after a meal, that it kind of bothered me that I didn't get that. I think a lot of people do get that, but I didn't. I guess I just need to feel fuller in order to not feel that I need to eat more. Might be something wrong with me also, that I'm too hungry. And yeah, the energy thing leads me into the reason why I stopped, or it was the main reason I went off keto, was because of the energy and because of my workouts. Before keto I worked out 5 days a week, I think. The year I was keto, so was a really busy year, so I didn't get to work out as much as I used to, but when I worked out, my energy and my like the intensity was not there anymore. I just couldn't give the same amount of intensity during my workouts as I could before keto. If you don't know, I do strength training. That's also what I did, and my muscles, it didn't feel the same. I just didn't feel strong anymore. And that goes for the whole year, like in the deficit, in the maintenance, and also in the surplus. I did of course feel stronger in a surplus, but not the same way as I did when I had carbs. So just as I said several times now, you might not experience the same. And if you're not as into, and if you're not doing resistance or strength training, that might not be an issue for you, but my body needs carbs to have really good workouts, like in regards to strength. So when I started incorporating carbs again, my strength really increased and I got so much stronger in the gym. So that's the main reason why I went off keto. Yeah, so that's all the pros and cons, I think. I will most definitely have forgotten something. If that's the case, I will comment it below. So weirdly enough, I have been off keto for a year now, and granted I have been bloated quite a bit, especially like in relation to my cheat days, but like other times as well. When I do eat like lots of, I don't know, rice and bread and stuff, I do experience quite a bit of bloating, but not the same as before keto. Before keto, I had to lay down several times a day because it was so bad. So I'm not eating any differently now than I did before keto. So I don't know why the stomach issues went away. What I say to myself is that I needed a year of carbs, probably. So that fixed it. So if I ever start to struggle with those kinds of stomach pains again, I might try keto again. I'll let you know if that ever happens. So yeah, I think it was an amazing year. I'm so happy I did it. I'm so happy I tried keto. It was just fun, and I might even test it out again in the future. Yeah, so for me it really worked, but those few cons mean really much to me, like especially the strength training. That's such a big part of my life. So being able to perform my best in the gym, that is enough reason on its own to incorporate carbs again for me. I forgot to say this. When you go from like the standard diet and into keto, it's very easy to be scared of fat and think that, oh, I can't have carbs, but I'm scared of fat, so I'll just eat lots of protein. Don't do that, because you need fat. If you're keto, you need fat to fuel yourself, and you need fat to keep satiated. So the fat part is kind of the most important part about being keto. So don't go keto and eat a high protein diet. I don't think you will like it. You can test it out, but I don't think you will like it. You will need lots of fat. So that was also one of the main things I had to like shift my mindset into, not being scared of fat anymore and eating lots of fat and moderate protein. I wanted to touch on one other thing, because I see a lot of people on social media being very negative towards keto, and a lot of people saying that keto is a medical treatment. Yes, it was, and yes, it still is, but it's also a diet that has worked for so many different people with so many different issues. So keto is not dangerous because carbs are not essential. You don't need them. So if you want to test it out, you can test it out. If you don't like it, then eat carbs again. If you like it, you might be keto for a while and you might love it, but you can always go back to carbs. So it just bothers me that some people are talking about keto like it's wrong, and like people who want to try keto are doing something wrong. That kind of bothers me, because keto is just a diet that works for a lot of people. Yeah, I just wanted to touch on that. And if you are a keto hater, please stay away from the comments. So that being said, I think the best advice for like having a healthy diet is to eat less packaged foods and more whole foods, and to have a balanced diet. The best thing for your mental health probably is to have a little bit of everything. Everything you crave, but in moderation. Yeah, so I think I'll leave it at that. I hope I haven't forgotten anything. I will leave it in the comments if I do forget anything. So if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and I would really appreciate it if you subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.